So, cue my intro. Weekend Gardener here with my uncle, my mom. We're looking at his garden, or what's left of it right now. Due to the extreme heat, we're getting a lot of wilting. I think the only thing left is a few tomatoes and the potatoes that are in ground over here. That long line, a few potatoes. He cleaned off his apple tree right here. Saw a squirrel running around with one in his mouth.
Oh,
I know how he feels about that because I saw a peach. I saw a squirrel running around. I thought it had a big red nose. I'm like, what is going on? I looked, and it was a peach. One of my red peaches right in his mouth. Have a peach tree right here, and it's propped up with poles or limbs. That's so the branches won't snap. Wow. Okay, your weekend gardener here, and still at my uncle's house. He spoke about his garden and some of the things that he does to fertilize and to keep up everything. His space, his garden space, amazingly, is not that big, but the amount of stuff that he produces is just astronomical. It's so much food that he's giving it away. He's donating. And then earlier clips you saw his freezer. We got the freezer, right? I'm gonna show you some of the stuff that he was showing me in the video of what he does with all the extra food that he gets. So this is his deep freezer right here, and it's like green beans, corn. This looks like squash or mushrooms. I don't know.
Yeah, it's mushroom.
Mushrooms. Okay. So I'm looking at this right here, and it's just like tons and tons of green beans and stuff. And then you follow through over here. You got cabbage, blueberries, corn, green beans. Was this oat? Huh? Yeah. More corn. Let's look at this. Squash. And this is all from this space just over here. So you got this space right here. I would say we're looking at about 25 to 30 feet by 100 feet. And from what he was saying was this whole place, you couldn't even see your rows. You know your rows, how you can walk up in between. You got enough space to walk in between the garden like this. He said everything was touching. And this was maybe like a week ago. He's still pulling peppers off of here. As I was talking earlier, we're getting close-ups now. This is what he has left. This whole row right here is potatoes. And I do see a cantaloupe right there. One little cantaloupe. Peach tree. I think this year he said he got a bushel and a half, which are those little baskets that we showed you in there. So he got a bushel and a half. Previous year, I think he got like 2 bushels. So that's 2 baskets of peaches. And then we have an apple tree over here. And I have no idea what these are. I guess we would use the tin plates. They look like pie dishes. And what happens is they're supposed to keep birds away because birds don't like shiny things. They don't like shiny objects, and they don't like that noise. See, when the wind blows, it kind of scares the birds away. Yeah. And he pulled up the corn, so there's no more corn, but there was a lot of corn. So talking to my uncle about how his father, my grandfather, used to garden. And I always thought this was wild because back then that had to have been like the 40s, the late 40s, the early 50s. And being out here in this part of the country, or this part of the state of Virginia, they didn't have a lot of running water from what my mom told me. So there was no running water. They had a well system. So I asked my uncle, how did your father water the garden? Well, he didn't water the garden, really. Mother Nature watered the garden, but they still ate. In this day and time, we got pesticides. We have to put a water hose on our stuff. We have to water at least once every other day. And the food needs it. The vegetables need the food, that water. So I still don't know how they grew, but they ate. Proof's in the pudding. Look at all the food that he has here. And this is just a small ending of the crops. And firsthand, I saw how big he had cabbage that big, the head that big. And I saw firsthand, it works. Whatever he's doing is working. I'm just trying to up my game to that level to where I can get to the point where I'm feeding our family consistently without a break. I eliminate a lot of grocery shopping, especially for vegetables. When it comes to vegetables, I don't want to do any more grocery shopping. I want to produce everything myself. I just want to get to the point where he is. Even if it's giving away some food, even if it's just donating, giving away, selling. I just want to produce what he's producing here. I want to be on that level. I have the land, I just need the knowledge. So that being said, my next stop will be my cousin, Tim's house, who I heard has an orchard and he needs a couple of hands to help him out with work. So he has that much food, I definitely want to see what he's doing over there. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to that video this year, but definitely next year when I connect to him, I want to see what he does and maybe mimic some of that. Your Weekend Gardener, I'm out. Peace.